Join us live on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with the Higher Vibrational Podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to SherryLord.com for more info.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. What a great day this is. We have an amazing guest. We can't wait to bring her on. But what I want to do is just have a little note to make sure if you want to place an ad with us, go to www.sherrylord.com. Our paid ads are really reasonable. You'll really enjoy. We'll love marketing you and getting you out there. And we want to bring in a beautiful soul. We've had her on our show before, and we just love her. She's so full of light, love, and color. We love her. We want to say thank you for joining us again. And this is Rabbi Rayzel Raphael.
You got it, Sherry Lord. It is my
honor
to
we
be
love
here with
having you. And, we talked a little bit about your new Oracle deck, and we want to talk more about that. It's the Shechinah Oracle, and this is a really interesting deck. She created this from scratch, her own creative side. But what I want to know, and our audience wants to know is, I understand you are an unorthodox rabbi. What does that mean? And what is your Jewish background? And how did you end up as a rabbi? You have a beautiful story here. We'd like to hear it.
Well, that's a journey. That's like part of the life journey. So being a rabbi is a calling. And in these last 50 years is the first time that there have really been women rabbis. And as a feminist and as wanting to have my voice in the tradition, I just felt I came into this incarnation to help the Jewish people transform. And I'm just part of that wave that is bringing new light, new energy, new lens, and also digging deep into this amazing history and body of literature that is known as Judaism and mining it for the gems of spirituality, women's Torah, women's wisdom, and bringing this esoteric wisdom to light. And this Shechinah Oracle is part of that. This has been a 15-year project that is part of my rabbinate, whatever I learned about Shechinah, which is the indwelling presence of God. It is the divine feminine that we can experience in this world, whether we experience her in our heart or whether we experience her in sightings or sense her. And it is part of this journey of these cards is bringing this to light, this Jewish tradition of the divine feminine. And what I learned in rabbinical school, but putting it out in a very creative way, hence the unorthodox method of bringing this literature and this wisdom and these traditions in a form of an oracle deck. So there you have it.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I feel your passion for it. You know what I'm saying? You have such a deep, loving passion for what you do, and it just radiates out. And we're all feeling that. And we think this is wonderful. But I do have another question. What is the difference between Torah culture and tarot culture?
So tarot cards, we know, are a 72 deck of oracle cards that were created in the Middle Ages and became popularized and are used for divine guidance. Torah is what we refer to as the wisdom tradition handed down from Moses through the 5 books and the many writings and everything.
Right.
But there is a direct link between Torah and tarot. And there are some tarot decks that are based on Jewish tradition. I have a friend, Stav Appel. He's on Instagram, and he is writing a book on this, actually, on the connection between Torah and tarot. And while mine is not this oracle deck, the Shechinah Oracle is not exactly a tarot deck because I only have 54 cards, but I do have 54 cards that are hand paper cut and, part of my artwork. But these 54, this oracle deck is also based on this wisdom literature of Kabbalah, mysticism,
Um,
what's found in the
yeah.
Torah, what's found in the 5 books of Moses. So it's all in there too, but it has this divine feminine spin to it.
Oh, wow. That is really interesting. And the other question I have is, tell us about the creative process you went through. I mean, this had to take time for you. I know it wasn't overnight. How did you design the images and how do you select what would be in the decks? And can you show us your decks? We would love to
Yeah.
see what they look like too.
I just happen to have a sample deck here. This is the artist proof from the
Ooh,
it's gonna, oh, there we go.
there, I can see it.
This is the cloud of glory that followed the Israelites in the desert. And that is referred to as a manifestation of Shechinah, that we could see
Ooh,
God's guidance as it
okay.
followed us in the desert. And my Zoom background, my virtual background there is getting in the way.
Yeah, I can see it clearly
You
there.
can see it. This is the card of
Oh,
the daughters of Zelophehad, these 5 women in Numbers who advocated for themselves to inherit the land.
okay.
Not just, it shouldn't just go to the men, to the brothers.
Okay.
This is, can you see it? Gold there. This is
Yeah, beautiful.
the priestess blessing
Oh,
that is channeled, the divine blessing. So this is the blessing card. And if you notice, the hands have the design on them. Those were henna hands. So again, even though the priests used to bless, I put these in the feminine and gave the women power based on their tradition. So that's a few of them. I mean, I can keep going.
oh, they're gorgeous. I mean, is there like the other side has, what's the other side looks like? Like you
Okay.
show us the one side. Are
This
they
is
all like that? Okay.
This is the
Yep.
back. This is the back.
Okay.
Okay. And the back, so if you see, what you see there is what they call the 4-pronged shin. Let me see if I can find that card for you. Here it is. So this card is sort of my motif of the deck. This card is the 4-pronged shin. The shin is one of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. There are 22 letters. So you asked me about how these came out. I had a friend who invited me to do a program at her congregation, and she said,
Okay.
what would you like to present on? And I said,
Um,
I have this idea of Kabbalah cards. I didn't know what it meant at the time. She says, you can do
yeah.
whatever you want. I mean, when does the universe say you can do whatever you want? It was like a call. It was like, do whatever you want. No one ever said that to me. They always said, don't do this so much, don't do that.
Right.
Right? And so those first 22 cards that make up my major arcana are based on the Hebrew letters. So this one, and I'll tell you the story about this one. If you notice over here in this corner, it's a stylized 10 commandments.
Okay.
And this is the 4-pronged shin. It's got these 4.
Okay.
And then this is the 3-pronged shin up here. And there is a tradition that in the first 10 commandments, there was the 4-pronged shin. Now, the 4-pronged shin
Ooh.
stands for the matriarchs: Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah. Those are the biblical matriarchs. But when Moses shattered those 10 commandments, the shin only got the 3-pronged shin. And so that's the patriarchs: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So what I'm doing is trying to restore the 4-pronged shin and the divine feminine to bring these stories a new life. And so this is one of
Oh,
the major
wow.
motifs of my deck. Yes.
That's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Very, 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 very beautiful. So did these images come to you? Did you meditate on it? How did this unfold for you?
Well, there are, I mentioned the Hebrew letters of the first 22, and
Right.
believe it or not, they almost all had some association or tradition, or what we call a maybe it was a sentence in the 5 books of Moses that we call
Okay.
a pasuk. It's a sentence. Maybe they referred to that, we get the word Shechinah from a sentence in the 5 books of Moses that says, God says, build me a tabernacle and I will dwell among you. V'shochan asuli mikdash, build me a tabernacle. V'shochanti v'tocham, and I will dwell among you. Shochanti is I will dwell, but a dweller, I will, an indwelling, the one that will dwell with you in your heart and in your world, is the Shekhinah. So they're related like that. They're related. The words are
wow.
related. So that's where we get this first inclination that there is a part of God that will dwell with us if we build the sanctuary. So those first 22 cards, almost all of them had something that I could refer to that gave me the image for example, there is a tradition, for Bikur Cholim, for the bet card, the tradition of visiting the sick. When people go to visit the sick, the Shekhinah is present. So that was easy to make an image of a person in bed being blessed, so though it was easy to do. There's a tradition of when 3 judges judge. Here's that card. When 3 judges judge, the Shekhinah is present. So here is I gave her Lady Justice, right?
Okay.
Because I'm putting her in the divine feminine. So it can't, they sort of, based on what I was teaching about, I worked with the images to represent that.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. How
Yeah.
do people use your cards? How do they use them? Can you give us an example?
Well, you could pick if there's something that you want to focus or manifest in your life, you can pick one card, put it on your altar, and pay attention to it.
Okay.
Meditate
Signs
on
will
it.
be there. Okay.
If you want a quick read, like I do a quick read every morning, I pull several cards, see sort of what's coming or what's blocked, because they do have the reverse side as well. The reverse, if you pull them reverse. I see what energy is blocked, and maybe I want to figure out how to deal with that differently. So you could do a quick read. Each of these cards, I'm working on the book as well, is going to have a description of the tradition and where they come from. It's going to have an interpretation, my interpretation, but it's also going to have questions for reflections and meditation, and sometimes activity. Like an activity could be go walk and talk to the trees, or it could be make a piece of art. Like I have you're going to be able to find things in the deck and in the description that will give you ideas of how to use them.
Oh, that is very, very, very interesting. That really is. And my question to you is also, let's have some fun with the decks. Let's have some fun with the deck.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want you to do is pull some cards for 2025. Pull some cards for what can we expect happening in 2025 universally, like within the world.
Okay. So you should just know that we'll see what happens.
Oh, it's going to be perfect. It'll be what we all need to hear. What's happening in 2025?
Let's see. What's happening, or what do you want to manifest? Or let's see what we got here.
I was doing this one for just the world. What do we see happening in the world in 2025?
Ooh, it's an interesting card.
A lot of changes.
Okay. So there's not a lot of dark cards in my deck. Okay. There's not a lot. I wanted to make a happy deck. However, there are some. So I never read that card alone.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the first card I got is Shvura, brokenness. If you see the woman, this is based on a story in Judges about a woman who is abused. But this is also a card of empowerment.
Right.
If we join collective. So what is the other card that I picked? I picked love.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're going to face some brokenness, but with love, we will get through. And
that's a good card.
This card is an interesting card. Ahava means love. But when I started this deck 15 years ago, there was
Okay.
not that much attention to gender. So if you see
Okay.
the heteronormative tradition of Judaism is man and woman, and it's based on a tradition that if the word for man is ish and the word for
Mhm.
woman is isha, and the difference in those two words is a yud and a hey, which is God's name. So if you have God in the relationship,
Yep.
it's not consumed, because without it, Aish means fire. So you must
Exactly.
have God in the relationship. But then I had to go back and put these other, if you look in the gold circles,
Mhm.
I've got a single, I've got a throuple, I have two women, two men. I wanted to add the other genders in here to make sure they were relevant for today.
Oh,
So
that was really good.
we got a lot. We have some brokenness. We have to face that. We know
Yeah.
it.
You got to heal
And
that.
we have
Mhm.
to face it with love.
Yes, exactly. Is
Yeah.
there does it also
So
what
I
what
pulled
did
you
you just
another.
pull?
I just pulled, this is called Kanfei Shechinah, the wings of the Shechinah. We have these
Ooh,
images of God's sheltering presence wrapped in the wings. Okay. Because
okay.
there's a number of references to wings, and God lifts us up on eagle's wings. That's one of
Right.
the places that quotes in the Bible. But we are comforted and wrapped in these wings. And if you notice that little shelter below, that is a sukkah. That is the based on the Festival of Booths. That's also
Yep.
biblically based.
Yep.
And we find shelter in that sukkah. So there's a lot going on in each card.
Yeah, it depends on what the questions are, I guess, you know.
Totally. Well, so if I had to do that quick read, I would say we are facing brokenness, whether it's the world, whether it's
Yep.
war, whether it's the earth, whether it's
We
in our families, and yet love in all forms and shapes
will
and
heal.
sizes will get
Yeah.
us through. And that we offer the wings of Shekhinah is really the mothering love,
Yeah.
wrapped. So, and mother love is like, when a mother hears a baby cry, the
Right.
milk lets down, right? It's
Right.
that flowing love that we have to find and unleash and let flow with each other.
Wow. One more question to pull another card is, what is the message for today for the people that are watching? What's the message for today?
All right, let's see. The message for today
For all
is
those who are watching. Yep.
okay. I pulled the blessing card.
Ooh,
So
that's a fun
this
card.
this is the blessing card. And it's based on this tradition that on the major holidays, the people would be blessed. Now
Okay.
we just had a major holiday of New Year's.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Awesome.
And
That's cool.
but it's also grace and gratitude. So I would
Mhm.
say take a minute to feel into the gratitude and the grace that is in your life at this moment. Because when
Mhm.
we resonate our vibrations with those that frequency, we cause more and more of that to happen to us and then to flow into the world.
Right.
So be that blessing. We
Oh,
start with
absolutely.
gratitude and then be the blessing.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's such a fun deck. It's just nice. Our audience will love the blessings that you're giving. And the other thing is, how can people learn more about your project and how can they contribute? You know, your tarot deck is to help. You know, you have a mission for your tarot. I mean, for
So
your oracle deck.
okay, yeah, it's not quite a tarot deck. I thought
No,
about doing a tarot deck.
thorough.
I'm not done. There may be a tarot deck in me, but I thought about doing a tarot deck, and a friend of mine said, Rayzel, you've been working on these so long, at least get 54 out. It'll fit in a card deck, and then we'll talk about the tarot at
I
72.
mean, I guess let me clarify. I understand you are raising funds for your
Yes.
deck,
Yes.
right?
I have a
And so,
Kickstarter.
yeah. So, how can people learn more about your projects and how can they contribute? And
Okay.
explain a little bit about this.
They should go right away to Kickstarter,
Okay.
kickstarter.com. It's a crowd source funding where different people get together and, raise money. And
Yeah.
it's basically a vehicle for me to get the pre-order so I know how many to print.
Right.
So kickstarter.com, put in the search word Shechinah. And
Okay.
the simple way to remember this is the word she, S-H-E, China, C-H-I-N-A, but put a H on the end of it.
Okay.
Shechinah H, and put that in the search window and it will come up. And it's only running till January 17th. So
Oh, okay.
they got to jump on it. If you read in the biblical book, God adds that H, that divine Hey, that's the Hebrew letter, to Abraham's name, changes it from Abram to Abraham. So, and that Sarah gets that H added to her. She was Sarai, and now she's Sarah. So that H feels like it's a mystical, for me, it feels like it's part of the transformation of Shechinah into something mystical and spiritual.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Can they be able to, do they have to go this way to get your tarot, to get your oracle deck, or can they get it on your website?
Yes, yes. So
How can they order it?
my website, they can look at my website, absolutely. And all the information will eventually be up there because
Okay.
the Kickstarter campaign is a short time thing.
Okay.
But my website is shechinah.com, SHECHINAH.com. And they can find out all about me. I got all my music up there. I should mention that each of these cards also has a song that goes with
Oh,
it.
yes.
Most of mine are original song. Most of
Mm-hmm.
the songs are original song. So let's say you didn't want to meditate that day, but you picked a card and then you just want to listen to the song and see what comes through for you with the song. It's also available like that.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, you have many gifts. Can you tell our audience a little bit more about what you do? Because I know you travel. I mean, you're all over the world in the countries and everywhere when I follow you on the Facebook page. And it's so much fun to see you and all the fun you're having. But can you tell a little bit more about what you offer and what you do?
Thank you. So I spent a number of years serving congregations in the Philadelphia area. I'd still do a lot of life cycle events, a
Okay.
lot of weddings, wedding season. But when it's not wedding season, what does a rabbi do? So I just have this dream of seeing the world. And every year I take a group of people somewhere on a spiritual adventure, I call it. So
Yeah.
I've got 30 people coming to Greece with me this February. I sometimes lead, and it looks like Croatia is next year. And I
Ooh.
sometimes lead high holidays on a cruise ship. I'm going to be going to Japan
Mhm.
next September. So a couple times a year, I lead a big trip somewhere. And the rest of the time, I run around and do my oracle cards and do weddings and baby namings and everything else. So it's a mixed bag, and make some music sometime. I'm going to have a couple more. I've released some albums and I'm going to have a couple more coming out in the next couple of years.
Oh, yes, because you have a beautiful voice. And would
Oh,
you like to? I know I'm going to call you out on this, but can you sing us a song? She does have a beautiful voice, you guys. I've
well,
heard her voice. Give us a little snippet of, the sound.
well, you've only heard it on my voicemail.
It was good. I was
So
impressed.
there is a song that goes with this deck.
Right.
When opening up to the mystery in the fog and the night and the rain, the ancient stories are speaking. We find the path again. The Shekhinah is calling to step out of your comfort zone, opening up into the world, surrender to the unknown. That's just a taste of it.
That was very beautiful. What a wonderful ending here. This is
Thank you.
great. And again, how can people get a hold of you on Facebook? I mean, you have like your website. Is there any other emails, anything you can give to our audience?
I'm on Facebook, Rabbi Rayzel Raphael. I'm on Instagram, Rabbi Rayzel Raphael, or
Yeah.
just Rayzel for Raphael. I am on dancing around on TikTok these days as well.
Yeah.
And I've got my website. So, I'm out there. It's just
Oh,
look up tie-dye rabbi or Rabbi Rayzel or Shechinah. I should pop up.
well, Rayzel, Rabbi Rayzel, we're so excited. We can't wait for your deck and to play with it and to work with it and connect with it with all that love you poured into it. And we just want to bless you on your journey as well. And we definitely will have you back on. But before we go, tell the people again how they can get a hold of you. We always want to keep repeating that a few times.
Okay. And I have to thank you, Sherry Lord. If for those of you who don't know, she is a gifted psychic. She will make you will do a session with her. She will make you feel good. She will talk about your angels and she will give you guidance. And I love her too. I just have to get that
Thank
in there.
you.
And it's a blessing to be here. They can find me at Shechinah.com, SHECHINAH.com. I'm on Kickstarter for now on Shechinah. They can find me as rabbi at Shechinah.com is how if they want to email me. I'm good.
Okay, no, that's great. And we just love having you on. We will definitely have you back on. And for those people who kind of couldn't write everything down, you can go to www.sherrylord.com and we'll have our information and some links and clicks there that you can make to get there very easily as well. And we just bless you with much success with your new Oracle deck. We think it's wonderful. It's nice to share it with the world. You're such a bright soul and so gifted yourself. And we just bless you. And we just thank all of our audience and all our listeners too. Bless everyone. 2025 is going to be amazing. Thank you.
Stay in the hope. Stay in the hope.
Yes.